We made it to the exercises for chapter 3. We're going to read in the college data set. And if you need a reminder, just go ahead and read this in to see the data dictionary, which explains all the columns. All right, number 1, find the number of missing values for each row. Okay, so here we call isNA, and then the number of missing values, we say dot sum, but we don't want to sum the columns, we want to sum the rows. So this gives you the number of missing values of each row. So there's a lot of them, 7,500, but that's how you get them. What percentage of rows have more than 5 missing values? So we have this. What have more than 5? I'm going to test this. How many are greater than 5? And then we will do dot mean to get the percentage like that. We can multiply by 100. So a little bit more than 9% have more than 5 missing values. How many total missing values are there in the entire data frame? This time we call it isNA. We can do dot sum. This sums up all the missing values of each row. And then this is a series, so we just call sum again. We get the total number of missing values right there. How many total non-missing values are there in the entire data frame? All right, in the entire data frame, how many total non-missing values? So we could just do not NA. We can just convert this. So that will work. Another way of doing this is to do dot count and then to sum this up. We should get the same exact number. All right, number 5, how many rows will be dropped when drop NA is called with its default? Okay, so we just do this, and we need to get the length of this. So how many are left over here? We can do dot shape. So 1171. Let's just do length to get that number. And how many rows were dropped? Well, we can just do length of college. Right, that's the original length minus the new length. So 6,364 rows were dropped. All right. It says calculate this number without calling the drop NA method. So I cheated. How do I call this without calling the drop NA method? So if I do this, and this is the number that are in each column, and actually, let's say in each row, I'm looking for all the ones that have 1 or more. So we can say is greater than 0, actually. These are all the ones that will get dropped. So all the ones that have at least 1 missing value. And that's the same number. So we can use that instead of drop NA. That's actually how the problem was supposed to do. Verify the result from exercise 5 by calling the drop NA method. So let's move down here. So this is what it really should have looked like. Number 7, drop all the rows that are missing from the UGDS column. So this time I'm going to use that subset parameter and do UGDS. When it's 1, you don't have to have a list. So that will work. You're down to 6874. Sometimes I like to just do dot shape to see the dimensions. Number 8, drop all columns that have more than 5% of their values missing. Okay, so this is where we're going to use that threshold. It would be nice if we had a percentage for the threshold. So we're going to drop columns. So that means we need to use axis equals 1. So by default, these are all the columns that have no missing values. But we're going to allow some. We're going to say threshold. And we want the threshold to be 5% of the total number of values. So we're going to do 0.05 times length of college. So we want there to be, and really, we should do it the other way, 95%. So we want there to be at least 7,158 non-missing values. So if they have less than this, that means their threshold, they have more than 5%. So this is the minimum to get that 95% complete. That's what I want. So you can see there's more columns that get picked up over here. Moving on to number 9, fill in the missing values with the maximum of each numeric column. So you can call the max method. It does give you the maximum for the strings, columns. It says this is this feature will, be removed in the future. So this is a warning, and it does say numeric columns. Let's go ahead and say numeric only equals true, and we'll just call this CM for college max. And then what we can do here is just say college.fillinA college max. So it's going to look just for the column. So HBCU will be filled in with 1, UGDS will be filled in with this number, and so forth. And that will work out like that. So actually here is some columns that were missing UGDS. It's a very high number. Obviously doesn't make any sense, but for the purpose of the exercise, that's how you would do it. All right, so that completes the exercises for chapter 3.